Hello and welcome back to another video. Today here again on Gran Turismo 7 to take a look at the second of the cars added as part of update 1.31, which is this Audi RS5 DTM car. It's actually one of 5 new vehicles in the latest update, with the others being this Toyota Alphard that we looked at the other day, this Mazda 3, and 2 new Porsches, which I'm not showing you here because, well, by the time I got to this update, they had already disappeared from the Legendary Cars dealership, where you could obtain them for some large amount of money. This update, as usual, does also come with some extra menu books. Extra menu number 18, the Toyota family car, which includes the new Alphard, the Prius, and the Crown Athlete, and this number 19 Ford GT menu, which is a bit of a random one, and I'm surprised it wasn't already in here, featuring what looks to be the GT40, the 2005-2006 GT, and the 2017 GT. It's available from Brand Central for 1 million credits, as a lot of racing cars are on Gran Turismo, which means it's the most expensive of the 3 cars that I've managed to obtain. I think the Porsches would probably have been more expensive. Being a racing car, though, it's only available in its one racing livery, which of course is what I've gone for. I've just noticed that massive exhaust in the door. That is incredible. So, I brought the RS5 here to the Nürburgring because there's a new variation of this track which we're running around here, which is the sprint version, which I hadn't realised was part of this update. It's a slightly shortened version of the GP track, essentially. And there is also a new endurance layout, which somehow is slightly different to the 24-hour layout, slightly shorter. It's kind of like this shortened bit of GP circuit plus the Nordschleife rather than the full thing from the 24-hour layout. Anyway, this car itself seems like a rather odd choice to add, given we have no other DTM cars, but it is still a really cool addition that I'm glad to see here, as what's great about Gran Turismo is the variety. For example, you've got something like this alongside essentially a minivan in the form of the Toyota Alphard, so it's a great fun update along with the classic Porsches, of course. It might not be as random as you think, though, this edition. There was previously an Audi RS4 DTM car in a previous Gran Turismo title, so there is a history of Audi DTM cars in Gran Turismo. Rather disappointingly, though, unlike that car, this one isn't powered by a V8 anymore, being swapped to a 2-litre inline-4 for this 2019 model. It still produces 603 horsepower though, and the smaller engine brings weight down to just 986 kilos. This puts it at 812.75 performance points here in Gran Turismo. As it's a racing car though, not only does it have a performance points number, but it's also been put in Group 2, and this is actually the first Group 2 car I have in Gran Turismo 7. And also being a racing car means there's not much in the way of customization. You can, as usual, change the wheels, but I'm not sure why you would on a racing car particularly, and you can change some custom parts which you might find interesting because you usually can't do anything on these, but it basically just adds extra support to the rear wing, which I'm not really sure what for. Does it get ripped off on some circuits? I can't imagine that really changes the amount of downforce, so yeah, not really sure what that's all about. But luckily one thing we can do is repaint the car, because from factory it has a rather unfortunate number 33 on it, so I think we need to sort that out. I was going to have a look at some Audi colours, but bare carbon fibre on a racing car works so well. That's incredible. I have bought some Audi colours though, so let's have a look at those. I probably will actually do something I don't do very often and go and find a racing livery for this, because it kind of looks a bit odd in a plain colour. But I've not bought any Audi colours before, so let's have a quick look. We've got Papaya Orange. These are the kind of my 4 favourite ones I found. Papaya Orange looks pretty incredible. Goodwood Green Pearl actually looks really good on here. Venetian Violet, because of course I had to buy some purpley colours, and Berry Pearl. Oh wow, that actually looks really cool on here. So yeah, those are all tempting, but like I say, I think it really needs a racing car livery, so let's go and see if we can find something. Okay, so I found one with a 13 on it, which is a much improved number over 33, and it also looks kind of cool in the blue. For some reason, due to the unique way Gran Turismo works, you don't apply a livery, you apply a style. So it's also put on the weird wing that I didn't like too much. But anyway, I think overall this still looks pretty incredible, so well done whoever made this livery, it's pretty cool. So, having a quick look at the events available in campaign mode here on Gran Turismo, I found there was loads of stuff for Group 3 cars, loads of stuff for Group 1 cars, but nothing that this would really fit in. Anything that's performance points based seemed to be at 800, rather than anything over that. And yeah, there was nothing specifically for Group 2 cars. As you can imagine, there's not many options here in the upgrade shop anyway, so what I've done is I've put on a power restrictor and some ballast, so we can maybe attempt to tune it back and get it into an 800 performance points race, which would be up against Group 3 cars. So we can give that a go, but I'm not sure how it'll work. You can put more powerful turbochargers on it, but then it just takes it ridiculously fast, and I don't think it's ever going to compete in Group 1 races. And that's about it, really. I have bought some racing soft tyres, just so we've got another option, which is why the performance points have gone up a bit. So I'm thinking we're going to have to put it back on mediums and down-tune the power, or put some weight in it, basically, to try and get it in a Group 3 race, if possible. Okay, so with a bit of fiddling about in the car settings, I've basically brought the output down to 98% with the ECU, so it now puts out exactly 590 horsepower instead of 603, and given it 113 kilos of ballast, which puts it at 1099 kilos, so it's a bit heavier than before, but it's on 800 performance points on the dot, which I've not done before, but it seems with the ballast you can be pretty accurate actually with performance points, because you can adjust it by singular kilos, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, let's see what that's like. It is, by the way, also on the back on the medium racing tyres, but let's see if that's any good against Group 3 cars or not. Okay, so I hadn't realised, but there is a differentiation between Group 3 and the 800 performance points races. Group 3 seems to be 730 performance points, so the World Touring Car 800 events must be slightly modified Group 3 cars. But anyway, that's probably one of the ones we're going to do. I'm just looking at Spa here because it has both of them side by side, but I think we're in fact going to head over to Italy and do this 10-lap race around Monza for 800 touring cars, which is what we have. But as you see, they're mostly modified Group 3 cars we're going to be up against. I'm stuck on mediums though because we're already at 800, so I can't switch to soft tyres, but that's fine. We can use 2 sets of mediums. Here we go then. 10 laps of Monza. Oh, this car, by the way, does have DRS, as you might spot there, but I don't actually have a button mapped to that. Okay, we're better under brakes than the Group 3 cars. And better under power, it would seem. Okay, I messed that up, but then he just full-on took me out. We go again. Okay, well, we're into the top 10 already, so it's going better than last time. I think it was lap 2 Ascari that I got murdered out of the race. Better. Oh wait, DRS is activating. It's automatic. When I brake for a corner, it goes off. And it seems to... It seems to be on every straight, though. Oh well. I'm gonna have to watch the wing as I brake. Okay, brake. No. Okay, you don't see it visually. Anyway. What are you doing? Goodbye. Slow BMW Z4. Oh, one of them's into the pits already. I wasn't expecting that. I was slightly concerned some of them might do a no stop, but I think if one... Usually they all pit if one of them pits. I was going to go in at the end of lap 5. I have plenty of fuel and the tyres are okay, but I will run out of fuel before the end of the race, so we may as well pit midway to get some fresh tyres and, well, put enough fuel in to get to the end. I love how most of them have got the name of the drivers and then there's just V12 Vantage GT3. Beautiful car, though. Actually, that's a thought. There's a Vantage DTM car now, isn't there? Or there was at one point. That would be cool to have alongside this. Okay, as tempting as it is to go past so that we're leading the race, I think we need to pit this lap, basically. So let's put another set of mediums on and fuel it up for, I think it's cruising range, so I think we need to put in 6 or 7 laps worth. To make sure we can go to the end on a powerful fuel mix. So I'll let that run to 7, I think. Oh, that might be full. Okay, we'll just let it fill then. And we're coming out in 6th place. Comfortably in 6th place. Don't know why I'm obeying the pit exit line. It's, well, a single player race, it really doesn't matter. Okay, well, it appears the leader now is quite far ahead. With 3 laps to gain 8.5 seconds. Well, we're right behind him. Already on lap 9, so I think we're going to get him this lap. The Doge Viper that's leading the way. So it seems like this is pretty good for these 800 races, because I think I've tried it in stock Group 3 cars before and it's not been great. I mean, potentially an upgraded Group 3 car would be okay, but a downgraded Group 2 car does it, so I mean, I like this car, I'm enjoying driving it, so I think we may as well use this. I'm sure I can take this into a Ascari. Oh, what line do they take through here? Anyway, I think we're going to take him down the back straight. And then we've just got one more lap to go. But yeah, I think this is going to be my go-to car for... Never mind. Yeah, I think this might be my go-to car for these, what are you doing? Oh. Well, the AI are incredibly stupid. Why would you hit on? Anyway. Well, that was a lot easier than it even seemed if I'd overtaken him. Anyway, as I was saying, I think this will now be my go-to car for these 800 performance point type almost endurance races, not really, just longer races I suppose. Just like the Alphard's going to be my go-to for whatever we entered that into. 700 performance points? Anyway, so I've got, out of this update, I'm pretty impressed actually that we've ended up with 2 useful cars for the campaign mode, as well as some other interesting stuff potentially that I probably am not going to be able to get hold of because it's not in the expensive showroom anymore. But yeah, got 2 decent cars out of this update. which will hopefully be useful for earning back some money. Ready for whatever comes in the next update. Let's hope another interesting variety of cars, because Gran Turismo is doing a great job with that at the moment. But there we go. As that other guy pitted, we've finished with a nearly 14-second lead. And we got 140,000 credits back for that, which is more than 10% of what we paid for the car, so yeah. Well, not if you include upgrades. Anyway, we've got some of the money back, so if we do a few more of these, we'll have re-earned the $1 million that was spent on this car, as well as going back and doing circuit experience, of course, which I still need to do quite a lot of when I want to buy a new car. But anyway, that's going to do it for a very first look at the Audi RS5 DTM here on Gran Turismo 7. Great to see another racing car from a different category added. It's great that they add such a variety of different things to this. And as it turns out, although I didn't think it would be to begin with, it's quite useful for entering the 800 performance point races for modified Group 3 cars, essentially. So yeah, I probably will use this quite a bit, as I will with the Alphard, which, by the way, there was a video on not that long ago if you want to go and check out a full video of what I thought of that. And I will be back soon to take a look at the third car that I've been able to get hold of, the Mazda 3. Unfortunately, like I say, no sign of being able to get the Porsches at the moment, unless they reappear in the Legendary Cars thing at some point, which I'm sure they will. But yeah, for now that's going to be all. Hopefully you enjoyed a look at the RS5, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.